What's up, welcome back to Nowstalgia. Dave here with the review of Lilo and Stitch, the 2025 remake of the 2002 Disney animated modern classic. This film, directed by Dean Fleischer-Camp, is the latest in the long line of Disney live-action remakes. We just recently had the abominable bomb of Snow White. Before that, we had the great success of Mufasa the Lion King. This is a trend that will continue because Lilo and Stitch is firmly in the hit category. This film is well on its way to being $1 billion grosser. And Lilo and Stitch, 2002, Lilo and Stitch, the original film, really stands out as clearly like the best Disney animated film, non-Pixar division of the 2000s, right? Because that was a very non-fertile time with Disney animation post the Renaissance period of the 90s. And Lilo and Stitch has become a bit of a modern classic with, younger millennials and has found a new life with, Gen Z and the future generations because, for whatever reason, it's just, I think it's become kind of a timeless thing. And there's actually a great story in the New York Times recently about how much of a merchandising cash cow Lilo and Stitch has been. The Stitch character has really come on as a big part of the Disney pantheon. The character is super popular with kids, but also with older people. And you can get, there's interesting data on how Stitch has become so successful. So it makes sense that this movie is a big hit, and it's probably going to be one of the 5 biggest movies of the year. I personally did not have a big relationship with the original Lilo and Stitch. I had seen it, a few times, but never owned it on home video or anything like that. So I wasn't like openly, anticipating this film or anything like that. And in general, I've grown quite tired of the Disney live action remakes just because they're so creatively bankrupt and so unambitious and just they're money moves, right? There's nothing interesting about them, right? And Disney is the sequel and remake factory these days. That's what they do. And apart from Pixar's Elio later this summer, it's been really sequels and remakes the past few years and the future to come, right? Zootopia 2 coming later this year. Disney's 2025 live-action Lilo and Stitch remake is perfectly successful at what it's doing as being a kid's entertainment. I did not find the movie particularly interesting, which is unsurprising as most Disney live-action remakes are pretty dull and pretty uninspired. Stitch is still Stitch, the chaos agent that he is. It's fun. I think the CGI is pretty strong. But what's I think best about this film is the actual human performances. The real life people performances are pretty good. Maya Kealoha, who plays young Lilo, very good for a young child actor. Sydney Ongdong, who plays the older sister Nani, I thought made a big impression. Billy Magnuson as one of the aliens trying to capture Stitch, I think is hilarious. They're the reason why you want to see the movie. I think plot-wise, man, like it's a kid's movie through and through. There's not a whole lot to really recommend about it. Nothing super interesting, nothing innovative, nothing that flashy. I think if you're watching it as an adult, you'll be pretty curious about all the home life problems that Lilo and her sister are going through and why they don't have seemingly any support from the community at all. It's a bit perplexing, a bit hard to believe, to be honest, given how well-known they are and not on the outskirts of their community they are. I don't know. It's a bit strange. Zach Galifianakis, also pretty amusing as the other alien, Billy Madison's counterpart. I think more than anything else, though, the thing that's most interesting to me about this remake is that it's all but confirming that like a proper Lilo and Stitch 2 will get made on the animated front. Obviously, there was some direct-to-video and some TV things in the 2000s. I'm not sure how much that'll be honored. Lion King 1.5-esque energy and all that. But with how successful this remake movie has been and how much of a success Stitch is in the merchandising front for Disney, clearly they're going to want to feed the beast and keep this going. So we'll get more Lilo and Stitch. And yeah, I guess in a sense, it's an interesting counterpart to Moana because they're both of Pacific Ocean storytelling and whatnot. But I don't think there's much crossover potential. They're so different. But yeah, I don't have like a whole lot really more to say about the movie. I didn't really enjoy it all that much as someone who's not a fan of Lilo and Stitch, the original. Again, I've just seen it a few times. And I didn't even pick up on a lot of the changes with the ending and stuff. I don't think it's a big deal that the older sister goes away to college at the end. I think that's a pro-family move. I don't think that's her abandoning the family, especially when they have a portal gun that lets her go back and see Lilo and Stitch whenever she wants anyway. I think that's pretty stupid to complain about a change like that. Nevertheless, let me know, what did you think of Lilo and Stitch 2025? Did you like it as an adult viewer? Are you a big fan of the original? If so, let me know what you like most about it. Clearly, I'm just not someone super into the property. Let me know. And for more movie reviews, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.